What's up? What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing? I hope and pray that everyone has been having a miraculous Friday because I have, okay? I am sitting on top of the world right now. Listen, today has been busy, but it has been beautiful. Great experiences that I cannot describe right now. But listen, I am Shalonda. I am your host on Real Talk Podcast. And today we have a special treat. Okay. I mean, we had a special treat earlier too, y'all. We really had a special treat earlier, but I having a phenomenal guest today. But before we do that, I want y'all to like, share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend that Real Talk Podcast is on right now. We are live right now on Facebook on Shalonda Jones and Real Talk Podcast. And we are also live on The Real Lala Jones on YouTube. I don't know why I get so twisted when I say that because I want to make sure I don't say the Real Talk Podcast because it's Real Talk Podcast, not the Real Talk Podcast. So it is The Real Lala Jones on YouTube. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, share, comment. The beautiful soul that is here today. Listen, y'all have to. If y'all got questions, feel free to do so and just chime in. Okay. Real Talk Podcast is all about the real healing, growing, prosperity, and real life experiences that will inspire a generation to have exponential growth to be the last and the first. Tune in to healthy conversations, love, laugh, tears, and all. And don't forget, this is a non judgment zone and a non religion zone. Period. I love y'all. I love y'all. And I'm going to bring in my special guest right now, Miss Adjuah.
Hello, with
Hi.
infinite divine abundance onto you. How are you, Shalonda?
Yes, I am blessed and highly favored. I am feeling good. Man, this is a long time coming for me because I have been wanting to do something with you for a long time. You just don't know. I be following. Yeah. Listen, I one thing I do is I pay attention to people and God always put certain people on my heart and I followed you for a long time and your consistency has drawn me to you and I just want to give you your flowers today and just thank you for being consistent and being the awesome and amazing person that you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I also thank you for having me. I'm not on podcasts too often, but I do plan on getting out there in the future. I'm going to be launching so many different things, and I am so thankful for this opportunity. And I love this. This will be my absolute first one. So, yes,
Really?
I'll be making history with you right now. So,
Yeah.
yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
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 Like she said, we are making history today. This is just amazing to have such a beautiful soul. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow her. She is on Facebook. Her name is Adjuah Wright on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I chose healthy living because I just feel like her living is healthy. You
Yeah.
know, the advice that she gives is healthy. The things that she does is healthy. And, you know, it's just a perfect, topic to have because she's just doing it right. She's just doing it right. And in a way that we lost
Mhm.
and need to get back to. You
Yes.
know, I've never really actually experienced it. Besides, I was helped raised by my grandmother. My grandmother helped raise me, and she was a different type of woman
Mhm.
that I ever seen. You know, she grew her own fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
and
That
yeah, she
that
she
part.
had a garden that I've never ever seen before that she planted with her own hands and she just was very intelligent. She always gave me wise words and
Mm.
she always, approved to me who I was. Like,
That's right.
So
Affirm.
this type of stuff is just it reminds me of my grandmother. So
Okay. Yes. And
yes.
just to chime in on that, because so many people don't have that experience, you know, and that is a very beautiful experience to already be in the lifestyle. See, I wasn't quite there. My grandmother, she was raised in Atlanta. She was in Georgia, not Atlanta, but I think it was Augusta. And she actually picked cotton, you know, when she was younger. She wasn't,
Yeah.
she did pick cotton, and she was very natural. However, when she came here, she raised me and my mom and my aunt, and she didn't quite teach us all the naturalness that she had learned when she grew up. So we learned a little bit different. And
Yes.
as I got older, I had to actually adapt and learn these ways on my own. And
Yes.
yes, it was a journey. It was definitely a journey. However, a very beautiful journey. You
Yes.
always you take every lesson that comes with the journey and you apply it. Don't hold on to the traumas. You be aware of the traumas, but you don't hold on to them, and you
Yes.
continue to build and you continue to build. So that is such a blessing to be able to have such a role model. You know,
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it truly, you're right. It truly was an experience. I often say I wish I paid attention a little bit more,
Hmm.
because I just was living in it. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right.
I was like, oh,
That's
this
all
is
right. You was taking it in subconsciously.
yeah.
Oh, it was all being absorbed. Like it's
Yes.
the genetic coding. It's there.
Yes. So can you just explain to the audience and tell
Mhm.
everybody who you are
Oh yes.
and what it is that you do?
So my name is Adjuah Wright. I have my channel is Beyond Infinite I Am on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But I also have something I'm launching called Beyond Infinite Solutions, right? And when we go into the holistic way of life, not only just herbs and fruit and good eating, but to be a whole being in general. So to be spiritually abundant, to be financially abundant, to be physically abundant, to be emotionally abundant, to be to just be abundant as a whole, right? To be able to adapt these things, a way of life, like she was saying earlier, this is my way of life. So everything you see is me literally just putting a camera on and living. That's it. So I was aiding, you know, I wanted to aid to tap everyone in, because how often do you see where someone is financially stable but spiritually unbalanced or depressed or not all the way there, or you see somebody that's all the way spiritual but the finances are lacking. You know, you always see these unbalanced situations.
Yes.
So I wanted to create a platform and a course to actually be able to know that it's very easy. You know, it may seem or be perceived, because everything is in the mind, it may be perceived difficult, but you can actually live an overall abundant life and do it easily, with ease, by just simply partaking in certain practices. They call them rituals, but just basically routines that you can adapt every single day based off of what you're trying to accomplish and who you are. And then you'll be a phenomenal person, right? It does take dedication, it does take hard work. You're not always going to be motivated. However, when you talk about diet and nutrition, these things actually play a huge role into the motivation process, right? So that's who I was as I grew up. I was like everybody else. I used to eat horrible. I ate pork. I ate the double cheeseburgers and the nuggets. I mean, I ate it all. I ate the Sells Birdland and Country Sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I did it all. I was at one point in time I was 245 pounds. So I lived that life, you know, but I realized, you know, I used to drink, I used to smoke. I didn't, I barely ever smoked, but I was a drinker, you know. I was
Hmm.
disciplined with drinking. I would probably only do it on the weekends, but I still partook. And I
Hmm.
had to realize as my life began to progress, I realized, do I really want to do this? Is this healthy? What, you know, how can I be better? What is my purpose? I start asking these questions that made me open up like a Pandora's box, right?
Yes.
And once I went through, there was no turning back. You know, it just went up from there.
Yes, that's awesome. Cause honey, it ain't no good for real.
Oh,
The
oh,
the food ain't no good. But like you said, I love what you said, like being balanced, like all the
mhm,
way around. It's not just about healthy eating, it's healthy living, like
right,
financially, mentally,
mhm,
emotionally.
that's right.
Like, you know, it is a lot. It is. a big dedication and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it, you
Yes,
know?
yes,
It
it
is
is.
very much worth it because you come out greater, you
Mm-hmm.
know? You come out greater. So what made you start on this holistic journey?
Well, to be honest, I don't want to go all esoteric and go all, mystical. But I was very gifted at a young age. And as I began to get older, I was actually the true story. I can't believe I'm about to tell y'all this story. But I was actually in the bar and I was drinking and I wasn't getting drunk. There I
Mm.
had a fifth of Hennessy, which is a lot if you don't know. And I was drinking and I was sober out of nowhere. I just got sober. And I began to look at my surroundings and I was just like, what am I here for? I literally like just the light bulb just went off and I just left. So I was just like, okay. And I had to really dissect myself and realize, where do I want to be? Do I want children? Do I want to live a happy and abundant life? What am I doing now that's stagnant? Is the people in my life benefiting me? So I just had this big epiphany and I was like, you know what? The world feels like me. One thing I can honestly say is that I never was afraid to have spiritual conversations. And most people come to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I can tell you anything. This something weird happened to me, or this happened, and I can just share my whole life because this is me naturally." Anybody they'd be like, she was living this for her whole life. This is her, and I
Yeah,
just had to slowly grow into it to figure out exactly what it was.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Girl, you was in the bar and that's
I was
like
crazy, right?
yes. That's an amazing testimony though, because right then and there your eyes were being open to something.
Yes.
God was speaking to you, like a transformation was happening as you were doing something that, you just was trying to
Yep.
enjoy yourself, have a good
Yep.
time.
That's a
And
fact.
right there it was like, okay,
Time to
enough
stop.
is enough. Yeah.
So.
Yes. That is powerful.
Mm,
And I sometimes people don't recognize what's going on, but like you said, you were already, you already was walking in it as a young age. You just
yeah.
had to learn how to get there. Um what are some common misconceptions about holistic practices?
Common misconceptions. Voodoo.
Mm.
Everything is not voodoo. A lot of times people think being in your natural state or meditation or crystals or burning sage or even when you go to the Bible it tells you certain gems and stones that you can use.
Yeah.
So everybody think that everything is voodoo because they're not familiar with it. That is like
Yeah.
not true at all whatsoever. When you go into healthy eating, you can't be vegan because you'll be malnutritious. No, you have to understand that you have to incorporate certain herbs and things into your diet. You have to know what the herbs do, like blue vervain or trumpet tree, which is high in iron. You have to know how to make your teas. You have to know how to cure yourself with chicory root. It's certain things that you have to incorporate so that you don't be deficient. So
You
it's a
need to tell
big
me that again, cause my iron, it's not that bad no more. But I need something natural, and I'm definitely on the teas and stuff. But
mm-hmm.
just to throw that out there.
Yes. So blue vervain and trumpet tree.
Blue vervain and trumpetry.
Yes, I actually have my website is Beyond Infinite Solutions. And if you go in the drop down and you hit herbal teas, right? I have all the products that I actually purchase right
Okay.
on. So you can go there. You can simply make a tea out of it. I am launching my tea book because I know every so often, if you do follow me on social media, you'll see me making my teas. I love my teas because one thing that's depicted as so difficult is, everybody say being vegan is hard. No, it's actually really fun. It's actually if you just incorporate making a tea every day, you have so much nutrients. If you just incorporate making a shake, you have all the nutrients you need. You'll feel
Yeah.
you'll be way more. You'll have way more energy. You'll be way more hydrated.
Yeah.
You won't understand. You're like, oh my gosh, why do I feel so great? Your eyesight would change. Everything would be so much brighter. So it's not this difficult thing. It's really not hard. And everybody think that it's so expensive. No, most of your fruits and vegetables are at the farmers markets, or we have the what do we have down here? Right there on East Main Street. I forgot what it's called, but the public market. We have the public.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so many things that we have access to, and because it's we say, oh, it's going to be so expensive. No, it's really not that expensive.
Yeah.
Have to take the time and look into it, and go from there.
Yes. Absolutely. Just going back a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, I love that you mentioned about did you say voodoo?
Yes.
Yes, because when people think of a holistic, or when they see people just being natural and stuff
Hmm.
like that, or burning sage or any type of things, they instantly, like, oh no, oh no. But I mean, to each his own, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But that is a major, misconception that everybody have, that
Mhm.
going holistic, that is really what it's all about. And it's so sad that in our own culture
Right.
we believe that.
That part. When we go in our history, our ancestors did all of these things, and we were taught that everything was bad. But we have to understand, in the society we have, the food is being poisoned, the water is being poisoned, the air is being poisoned. All these things are happening. The lights, if you have the wrong lighting in the room, it can make you have like almost like a HDHD effect, right? And they
Uh-huh.
do studies on this in classrooms where they put certain lights in classrooms and the kids can't concentrate and they're all over the place. But then they change just the lighting alone, and then all of a sudden they're all sitting down and they're still. So they come at us in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And when we go back to our natural state, we learn that these are the things that actually combat these. So if you sit there, you burn sage and you clear the smoke or you clear the energy, it literally removes some of the toxins in the air that you breathe. If you
Mhm.
sit here and you have certain plants and you speak life into the plants and they grow, they actually literally filter out the air that you live in. So it's just so phenomenal that once you begin to take these things into account, then you are actually healing yourself against everything that they're putting out against you. So, you know.
Okay, so with sage,
Hmm.
people burn incense but don't believe in sage. Are
Right.
they similar?
Um, no. And the reason why I say no is because sage has an actual property.
Uh-huh.
And the property of it, and I'm going to get a little deep, okay? The property of the sage itself is a certain frequency that removes energies, right? Lower energies vibrate at a lower frequency, and they don't like the smell of sage because it combats the frequency they're on. So incense can be just smell good, but you also have to be careful what incense you burn, because depending on where you buy the incense and who has it, they have chemicals in the incense. So it's not even good to plug certain things into the socket because they release chemicals. Again, this is another way they are fighting us. And we're like in a war, it's so many different wars going on. And they try to pollute the air in so many different ways. So you have to be careful what incense you buy, because they release toxins that you breathe in and it's not good for your respiratory. So,
Yes.
you just got to be mindful.
Thank you for that. That's awesome, because I mean a lot of us are very uneducated with that. And I mean honestly, I like sage. I like the smell of sage.
Me
I
too.
ain't gonna
Me
hold
too.
you. So I'll burn it. But what when you say it has what did you say it has what in it? The
It,
sage
it has properties in it. It has like
properties.
a
Okay.
certain properties that it holds. And I give you an example. You know how in the Bible it says, what does it say? Let me get the exact term. Cleanliness is the next thing to godliness.
Yes.
Okay, so literally, if you are in a house and it is very junky or very dirty, you
Uh-huh.
will feel cluttered, you will feel dense, right?
Yes.
The natural feel of ickiness, right?
Yeah.
but that's your mind projecting because your mind is cluttered.
Right.
So it's the same thing. Like if you when you clean up the space, all of a sudden, all that energy that you felt, because it's literally an energy that you're feeling, that dense, nasty feeling is simply an energy that is projecting. So when you
Mm-hmm.
begin to clean up, all of a sudden the energy is clear, and you're like, oh, it feels good in here. It's nice. It feels so. Sage has the same property without having to.
Oh,
All you do is burn it, and that frequency of the sage literally clears the room.
love it. Okay, because I've
Okay.
never heard anybody describe it like that. Okay,
Yeah,
never. I just hear. I don't know what I hear.
I
I
know.
just. I just know people do it, but it makes so much sense because it is true. Like, because I organize closets, and I always tell people that when your closet is clear and
Hmm.
less cluttered, you're going to be less stressed and depressed and going through things emotionally and stuff like
Right.
that. So that's the same with like a house. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh my god, I love it. Can you discuss the intersection between holistic health and mental well-being?
Yes. So we have chemicals. Um, they call them dopamines and serotonin, right? And if you do not have the correct or a high level of dopamines or serotonin, you go into reverse effect, which cause depression, mental illness, sadness. Your energy level isn't up. You feel sad and you can't figure out why. Now, when you are healthy or you're eating the correct foods, for an example, ginger or cacao, and the cacao is a really good one. Cacao is the original form of cocoa before they add sugar and do all these things to it.
Uh-huh.
So cacao's natural properties, when you drink it, it literally is an extreme high dense hit of dopamine. So when you incorporate it into your everyday living, you begin to have this happy sensation. Same thing with certain mushrooms. It's a mushroom called DJON, Dijon. And when you literally make a tea, or you don't even have to make a tea, you don't even have to boil it. If you have water and you put these mushrooms in that tea and you drink it, or in the water and you drink it, you literally can feel extra happy. It's like, yes, yes, yes. It's like you naturally want to move. You want to move your body, because one thing that is very permanent in depression is stagnation. When you are stagnant, or you're not living in your purpose, or you don't know why you're here, right? Which also ties into your aligning your chakras, the earth chakra, which nobody really talks about. Knowing why you're here, being grounded, understand what you're on earth for. Everyone has a purpose to be here.
Yes.
So when you're not aligned with that, or you're not eating the correct foods to open your mind to see that, then you automatically go into a depressive state, because the momentum is lacking. One thing about us is that everything vibrates, right? Everything is moving. So when you begin to go against the natural flow of that natural course of vibration, then you begin to get these negative thoughts. And now you're looking at other people's lives and you're not understanding how beautiful you are, along with the traumas that play inside. When you eat bad, nine times out of 10, as soon as you feel bad, you eat bad. You feel
Yes.
bad, you go get you some ice cream. You
Yes.
feel bad, you go get you some potato chips. You feel bad, you start craving all these sweets. But then when you feel good, you're like, oh, I want to go get a salad.
Yeah.
People don't understand how serious it is. The psyche behind that is serious, because the food that we eat is literally here to feed us. It's alive. But when you eat something that's dead, you feel dead. And it's
Yes.
just how, you know,
Yes.
it's,
Ah, I'm loving it. I'm gonna get to the comments real quick. I love to interact with the viewers. So me possible said great women. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Heather said love this, and she said very high in vitamin K, contains minerals like magnesium, zinc, and copper.
that's right.
Yes, and she said I have sage in my yard.
She grows it. I love that. That is phenomenal. I love that. Right.
That's awesome, Heather.
And just to piggyback on what Heather is saying, is crazy, because knowledge is power. And we literally, everything we think is weeds, are literally herbs that we're supposed to use. Even that everybody heard about the dandelion. Everybody thought the dandelion was so horrible. And then they realized that dandelions are one of the most powerful herbs. So it's
Yeah.
like we have mugwort. You know, we have the mullein. Mullein itself is when you drink mullein, and I use this for most of my teas, it literally clears out the mucus. So if you have a lot of mucus, mullein is where you want to go. And the mullein grows almost everywhere. So it's
Mm.
like you have to educate yourself because it's literally right in your backyard. It's literally
Yes.
in your backyard. You know, we call it herb, we call it weeds, and it's like no, that's what we're taught on purpose. You know, you just
Weeds that
weed.
they pick and throw out. Okay.
Yep,
it's
definitely.
it's it's so crazy because I mean, I have family members that I try to, you know, get to doing herbs and stuff like
Mhm.
that because they have different problems going on like high blood pressure and stuff like that, but they're so terrified. And the doctors of course keep us drugged up, and they want us to take the drugs and
Yeah,
instead of, you know, the herbs. And um it's just people live in fear of
that
the
part.
herbs.
That part.
They live in fear of the plants, and we really have to get out of that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because i mean I've seen people be healed by changing their diets,
That's right.
changing the way that they eat. And even myself, you know,
Mhm.
like I'll take certain things out to put certain things in at a time. And don't get me wrong, I'll go backwards
That's
because,
that's
you
okay.
know,
As long as you keep pushing. After you slide back, take 2 steps forward. That's all.
yeah. And it is some things I'll eat, but I'll stop. At one point I just stopped a lot of things.
Mm.
um my only thing is my weight and learning how to maintain my weight, because I've always been on the smaller spectrum.
Mm.
So the weight that I have now is not the biggest I've ever been, but the biggest I've ever been able to hold. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But it's because I'm trying to put the right things in my body and take
That's
out,
right.
you know, all the things that are toxic. So yeah, thank you for that, Heather. I absolutely love that. I
Yeah.
didn't know that people grew sage in their yards in Rochester.
Hmm.
So that's nice to know.
That is beautiful. I love that.
It really is. How do you approach like everyday holistic principles in your life every day? Like, you
Okay.
know.
Now, first, I'm going to piggyback off you said what you said before is because you said people are afraid of herbs, but they'll go to medicine. Now, what people don't understand is that medicine is herbs, right? They literally take the herb, put a certain heat or a certain
Mm.
element to it, and turn it into a chemical. But
Oh,
anything that you cannot make up anything, everything comes from earth, right?
yeah.
Even medicine, the medicine
Yes.
even comes from earth. They just know how to put chemicals on it so that it gives you a temporary solution but a bad effect towards the end. So it's like
Mhm.
if you're afraid of the chemical part of it, but you're not afraid of where they actually get it from. And it's like that, that you got to really dissect and understand, like, they're getting it from the earth. Why do you think it works? It works. But going forward is how do you incorporate this into your everyday life, right?
Yes.
That's what you're asking.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I learned that incorporating this into my everyday life is coming up with certain practices. For example, waking up at 4 a.m. When I wake up at 4 a.m., I'm in my what I would call my silent moment, right? I take time, I think, I pray, I meditate.
Yes.
That's the first thing. And then right after that, I get to journaling, right? Because a lot of times we don't know where we're going. So to actually take that sacred time to actually write down on the paper what you want to accomplish. And for me, that's so important because that gives you structure, that gives you discipline, and that gives you a sense of direction. A lot of us don't have sense directions. We walking around, we just don't understand. And even if you don't have it all together, because you wrote it down and you see it, as you begin to, again, momentum, as you begin to take strides, you will see what you don't want to do and what you do want to do and how it fits into your everyday life.
Yes.
And then from there, um, we can make a tea. I always, brush your teeth, wash your face. That's that. We know this. Take a bath.
Yeah.
But from there, we can make teas. Whatever you prefer. We can make teas. We can make a juice. We can make. I make it a habit to fast for at least 16 hours a day. So
Mm.
I don't eat after 7 o'clock, and I don't eat before 11. Okay, and that's just a practice I've been doing for years, because the more your body it has to cleanse itself. When you are asleep, your body is cleansing itself. So you have to take that time to actually let your body cleanse itself so it can operate correctly, right? And this will make you have more energy, your brain, you can think clearer, you can make more moves, and you understand more aligned with your purpose. Um, and then literally when you write your dreams and your goals and your aspiration down, when it's pertained to holistic healing or eating, start prepping your foods. It's so important that the reason why so many people kind of give up or go to alternative things is because their food is not being prepped. Take one day, prep your food, the food that you're going to eat in the next couple of days, keep in the refrigerator, the other food put in the freezer, and then when you're ready to eat it that Wednesday, Thursday, unthaw it, warm it up in the oven, and so on and so forth, because it makes a flow. The only thing we lack is flow. Once you begin to get a certain flow, everything moves so much easier. You have to make things simple. What do they say? Think smarter, not harder.
Yes.
So when we backtrack and we like, oh yeah, let me quit smoking cigarettes, or let me stop doing this, or let me stop doing that, it's simply because you don't have a flow in place to actually, supplement what you were doing before.
Yes.
Literally just that simple. It's just that simple. And do your research. Once you do your research, understanding what helps you, what hurts you, like you said, the sage, the crystals, jogging, working out, set a certain time. You're going to be free, make a schedule. Within that, setting your dreams, goals, and affirmations, and so on and so forth. Make sure you put the time, break it down into a structure so that you can actually follow it. And even if you don't follow it to a T, get to where it's a regular regiment, to where you can. You're not going to
Yeah.
be perfect at first. You're going to have to work at it. It's just something you just going to have to work at. But eventually you will get it. Again, affirmations. That's one thing I left out. First thing in the rising, when you get done with your prayer, you go speak to yourself in the mirror. And this is why, right? We are just like the earth. We are, what, 75, 80% water. As you know, water holds memory. So if you take 3 different glasses of water, if you take a water and say, I hate you, you take one and say, I love you, and one you say nothing to. When you freeze the water that you say, I love you to, it will produce beautiful geometric shapes. The water that you say, I hate you to, will look like disease like figures. If you take a disease and put it under a microscope, that's the same way your water looks. And then when you sit there and the one you say nothing to, it's literally formless. It has not, it basically doesn't form. So when you speak life into yourself, then you begin to create within yourself. And this is the reason why we also journal. Because how do you know what to affirm if you don't know what you want?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you write down what you want, your affirmations are going to go around or complement exactly what you wrote down. So if you say, I'm going to be a millionaire and this is how I'm going to do it, I am focused. I am a millionaire. I am going to make sure I get 5 clients a day. I can do this. I am phenomenal. So start putting your affirmations. Everybody love affirmations. We're just like, oh yeah, we're great. We're fine. We're
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, make them intentional.
Yes.
Make them goal worthy affirmations. So
Yeah.
now you know what you're aiming for.
Yes. I
But
love it. Oh my God. I love it. I just love how, setting a routine is important. Waking up at a certain time is important. Giving yourself time is important. Speaking life into yourself is important. Like, these are really good principles that, people don't understand, that you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to go to a certain church or anything. Like, you don't have to be in a certain community to be that. Like, you literally have to have the mindset.
literally, it all starts with mine.
Yeah, it all just starts in the mind, and sometimes people think too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
and not put in the work. It's like, oh, that's too much. But to me, as you're explaining, it just seems so simple, and it's true. You know what I'm saying? When you do these things,
Mm-hmm.
it really happens. It really happens. The things that you desire in your heart and in your mind, it really happens, and it's life changing. And I just think that it is a beautiful thing. I can literally see, looking at you, that you are, healthy in your mind, in your
Mm-hmm.
body, in your life, in your finances. Like, you know what I'm saying? It will come out.
Yes, yes,
You
it
know
will.
what I'm saying? It's like if you plant a seed and
Mm-hmm.
sun and all the stuff that it needs and everything,
That's right. That's right.
it's going to blossom and it's going to be beautiful. And I just really felt like, this was important because our community needs this more than ever. And we talk
Mm-hmm.
about it and we talk about it and we talk about it. And not enough of us come together and actually sit down and have these conversations.
That's correct.
Um, so I just thank you for that. If y'all looking for a routine, if y'all listen, it's right here because she just gave
Right.
it. Okay, she just mapped out your whole day for you, literally. You know what I'm saying? Down to literally just making sure your food is set. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important too, and that's where I need to get. Like I'll have in my head what I want to make, but I won't prep. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I always, my husband is good at prepping, but I get in the kitchen and I just cook, you know.
Oh, real.
but but prepping is important, you know what I'm saying? And it saves a lot of
A
time.
lot of time. I didn't realize, I'm gonna be honest. Even through my journey, I didn't realize that prepping was so important. I didn't prep for a long time. I did
Hmm.
not prep. And I kept saying, oh my gosh, I need more time. What am I gonna do? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm over here, I'm doing this. How can I save time? Like, what is going on? Like, you know what? I sat down and meditated and I was like, prep my food. Because I had to really sit down and say, well, where's all my time going? What happens? What am I missing? And it was me cooking. I had to cook every
Yeah.
day. I was like, okay, I don't want to eat nothing bad. Let me make sure I cook. And I got my baby. So I'm like, all right, let me make sure I'm cooking. And I was like, you know what? Let me start prepping because maybe this is going to save a lot of time
A lot of
and
time and money.
money. And I
Yeah.
definitely started looking into it. And I was like, oh my, when I first did it, I couldn't believe how smooth my week went.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can do this and everything's going to
Yeah.
I was so happy. So I was just like, okay, this is it right here. I found something. I found this one.
I
So I'm
absolutely
so
love it.
thankful.
I need to get like you, honey, and to prep my meals because let me tell you something. I be in the kitchen for too long and it's taking up too much time. I'm a cooker. I cook. I try to cook every day. So sometimes I'm so busy. Like today,
Mm-hmm.
I did not get to cook. So if I had prepped,
Yep. Same.
everything would have been so much better, and I could save some dollars on a meal because we be quick to go say, "Let me go buy something to eat real quick."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm holding myself accountable because I need to get myself together in the kitchen because I got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So prepping will definitely fix a lot in my life.
Yes, it
Okay.
will. And to piggyback off that really quick, because you mentioned finances. I love, and I always tell people this all the time, I love to be spiritual. I love to meditate. I love to manifest. But if you're doing that and it's not manifesting anything, what are you doing? Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to finances, we really have to be educated, right?
Yes.
Everyone, let me tell you what the 1% does, right? They own nothing. And when I say they own nothing, I mean this. Everything is in a trust. Everything is in an LLC. Their
Hmm.
houses are in LLCs. Their trust own everything.
Yeah.
They literally own nothing. We do the opposite. We
Yeah.
sit buy houses and put it in our names. We
Yeah.
You know, it's not considered an asset until it begins to make money for you. And if
Yeah.
whatever you have is not making money for you and you're putting money into it, now it becomes a liability.
Yeah.
So now we have to learn how to literally build an infrastructure that is going to benefit us. And this is where credit takes a big, big, big hit, because
Yeah.
credit is the world. And credit is simply leveraging somebody else's money to get where you need to be. So now if you build your credit, you can go to ESL, you can go to Bank of America, you can go to Citizens and get $25,000 from each one. Now, if you create your LLC, now you can transfer that credit over into your business and now you have funding. See,
Yeah.
these are things that we don't know. And now you have money you can mess with. Now, guess what? Now, I wouldn't advise this because I think you should build on your business and create a legacy so you'll be wealthy for generations.
Yeah.
However, if you mess up, all you have to do is get rid of your LLC and start over. And now your personal credit isn't hit. You're only looking at your business credit hit. And now you can start over a brand new business. So this is what they do all the time. And then we
Wow.
wonder, why are they so much more successful? It's,
Yes.
these are basic principles and things that, but when you look into it, I tell people, I do credit repair. So it's like I tell people these things, listen, be smart, create this, do this LLC, put this in order. Credit bureaus are not even government made. They are
Yeah.
companies that create LLCs. They're regular people. Experian is a regular person. TransUnion is a regular person. Equifax is regular people that contract with other regular people and report all your information. That's it. So once you learn this and we have to be able to be well rounded all the way
Yeah.
around. And that's it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's some good advice. Okay.
Yes.
That's some good advice. We can definitely learn something there. Cause I like I said, I never heard nobody explain it like that. And starting over a LLC, and if you
Mhm.
mess up and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's some good advice.
Right.
Y'all need to listen up. I'm listening. Okay.
That part.
Listen, if you got to watch this back, make sure you watch this back because
Okay.
this is educational and it's needed, okay? Um I'm not saying that nobody is doing it, but it's
Right.
happening here at Real
Right.
Talk Podcast. Like, you know?
Right.
Before we get ready to go, can you give somebody some advice on I mean, you just been giving so much advice. I just think that's really a bad question.
No, no, it's not. No, it's
It's just, it is because you just been giving so much advice. And if y'all hear a man speaking Spanish, I'm sorry, the walls are very thin in here, and
oh no,
he's
we
not in
are.
here. Oh, okay, because he's getting louder and louder.
Um,
But
if I give some advice, if I had to give some advice, I would say take your time, right? Because the reason why we're in the situation we're in is because, this has been done to us over time. It's our fault, but it's not our fault all at the same time. Things and systems are put in place so that we don't succeed, right? And now we have to take time to actually learn this knowledge all over again so that we can be successful. Monitor your intake. If you are really truly trying to change your life, monitor what you watch, right? If you're on social media and you're watching the wrong thing, stop. If it's not motivating you, don't watch it.
yeah,
Not building you or uplifting you, don't watch it. Again, remember we're 75% water. What we take in, we are. So if you're taking in a whole bunch of garbage, that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to feel. Food, same thing. Monitoring your intake. If you are not eating the right foods, you are going to feel horrible and you're going to wonder. See, the secret thing about food that most people don't know, right, is that energy is real. So most of the animals are being tortured. Most of the animals are being hurt. Most of the animals are being treated very unfairly. And when they get killed in such a condition, they release a hormone. And it's a stress hormone. And then when they release the stress hormone, we intake that. And now it's in our DNA and our in genetic coding. So now we're wondering, oh my gosh, why are we so stressed? Or why are we so depressed? Or why are we randomly sad? And we can't figure it out. But it's simply just what we take. You are literally what you eat. So
Yes.
we have to really start monitoring our intake on so many different, even the music and frequency is so powerful. That's literally what creates our being. Last gem I'm going to give you. Everything is made out of atoms, okay? Atoms are literally, so when people say, oh, this frequency and vibration, I'm going to let you know why they say this. Atoms are made of out of nanoparticles. So when you take an atom and you put it under a microscope, it has a whole bunch of small little particles. But in order to see the particles, you have to remove what is called the noise. They call it noise, but it's really frequency, right? When you move the frequency, all you see is the little particles, but the frequency is what keep the particles together. So our bodies are made out of this, the plastic, our phones, everything that we think is tangible is made out of nanoparticles and atoms and molecular structures. So once we understand that, this is when we tap into the oneness. Everything is what we are. Everything is.
Yeah.
So now that we know this, now we got to make sure we look into the right frequencies. We're literally taking in things that only benefit us, because once we do that, we can get so much further in life.
Yes.
And that's it. So take that time.
Great advice. Okay. Great advice. I just knew this would be just awesome. I feel good after this. I learned some things and some things were confirmed. And I think that is just
Mm-hmm.
not need you. Okay. We
Okay.
need you.
Okay.
I
Thank
want to read. I got some comments by Aaron. He said, "Hi, not sure how I came across this, but from UK here. Awesome.
you. Hey.
I know. Hi, how you doing?"
Yes.
And Heather said they have also destroyed a lot of things Black people had in place, and today we are not teaching our children what we were taught long ago about wealth and why we should own property, etc.
That's right. Absolutely correct. I teach my daughter everything. Sometimes if you follow me on Beyond Infinite I Am or Adjuah Wright, you can look me up on Facebook. You will see a lot of the things I do is with my child. I
Yeah.
put her right there with me so she can learn as I do everything. Got to teach the young ones. You got to.
You really do. You have to. You have to. I got one that don't really want to listen too much. He just be like, "Mama, why are you telling me this stuff?" But I'm still gonna tell you
That's right.
because when you become a man,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna come to you.
It's gonna sink right on there.
I don't care how much you think I'm crazy, because he think
Mm-hmm.
I'm crazy, but I don't care. I'm gonna give it to him.
That's right.
I
That's
don't know
right.
what's going on over here. But yes, and Heather also said great conversation. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aja, so much for taking time out of your day to be here for the people. And just give a little bit of yourself, and your work, your walk, your journey is not in vain. People are
Mm,
watching, been watching.
yes.
This is not nothing new. So yeah, just keep being a beautiful being, and just taking in more and more, so that the people that are coming
Yes.
can
Yes.
appreciate and know who you are most indefinitely, because you know what I'm saying? It takes a strong person to go through the journey,
Yes.
and not saying that you're perfect, but to be consistent,
Mm,
it really does. And to teach your family and to walk the walk and talk the talk.
that's
It's very important.
very.
Okay. So yes, thank you so much for coming on Real Talk Podcast. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And I adore you. I really do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Shalonda. You are a beautiful soul. I see you as well. And y'all, I don't think she ever mentioned it here, but she is phenomenal and she has ventures that she has. And I know you probably share every once in a while, but she got this thing to where you can join and make money. So please, financial is a big part of what's
Yeah.
going on. Tap in, y'all. Tap in. Tap in.
Please tap in, because I mean, when I tell you people around me, and it's just to see it is so amazing. To be a
Mm,
part of it is so
that's
amazing.
right.
And if people would just grasp a hold of it and just get an understanding, oh my God, what
And
we
take
can
off.
do, what we can do together
Okay.
if we just
Okay.
come together.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, if we just
Biggest
come
illusion is
together.
separation. Biggest illusion is separation. If we came together, we will move mountains. We beyond
What?
infinite. Okay.
Beyond Infinite. I love it. Y'all make sure
Yeah.
y'all go to her website, Beyond Infinite. And she's also on TikTok, Beyond
Mhm.
Infinite, and
I am.
in Instagram. I am
Yep. Beyond
Beyond
infinite. I
Infinite.
am. Yeah. Beyond infinite. I am spelled exactly how it is all together. Beyond infinite. I am.
Yes. Thank you so much. Heather said thank you. Much love. See you next time. See you, Heather.
See you
Thank
later.
y'all so much. This is Real Talk Podcast, and I am your host, Shalonda, and I have been sitting down with Adjuah for the past 51 minutes, and it has been a blessing, okay? It has been a miracle within itself. Listen, if y'all didn't see it from the beginning, y'all got to go back to the beginning and watch it from the beginning and make sure you watch the whole thing, okay? And
Mm.
make sure you have your pen and your paper.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, make sure y'all hit her up, okay? Because
Yes.
I'm sure she's gonna be ready to answer anything that any question that you have. And she out here playing financial freedom in people's lives.
All the time.
Listen, get into it. Get into it. But y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'll be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. with my crew. You know what I'm saying? Doing what we do. Um, and of course, we're gonna have Adjuah back again. We're gonna have her again. We're gonna have to come up with another episode and talk about something, you know.
More in depth. More in depth. I'll give you everything a lot more in depth on the next one.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all like, y'all share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, peace.
Peace.